Now then, hobbyists.
I don't know what you're whinging for. We can go inside the house in a minute, but first we've got to do this, okay? Now then, indeed, hobbyists, it's currently 4:15, so I've got a little bit of time before I've got to take a chicken out of an oven. This was not the unboxing that was supposed to be occurring at the moment. The chief engineer has got something that's on order, and apparently it's on a very slow boat from Japan. I think he may have to cancel it because I think it's a scam. But, you know, he's giving them the benefit of the doubt at the moment. But I do think something on order for nearly 3 months is taking the proverbial. So anyway, a Top-Force, eh? A bit of background on this one. I saw this exact model for sale for £189, I think it was. The usual price is around about $260-ish. And I ummed and I ahed, and then it sold out. So I was a little bit disappointed with myself for that one, but you know, you snooze, you lose. I kept looking and they didn't have another one in stock. And then one night I was sat there just perusing a other RC supplier, and lo and behold, they had them on for £159. Take my money, basically. I was sat in a sports hall waiting for RC so-and-so Junior to finish his activity with very, very weak 4G coverage, desperately trying to buy this at that price. Luckily, the sale went through. The next day it went up to £169, and then it went up to £189, and I believe it's over £200 again. So, bargain is what I'm talking about. I've wanted one of these for a while. The chief engineer has got the Manta Ray, which is a very good buggy. I've got no issues with the Manta Ray at all. This one now seems to be the next step up, so we're probably going to see if it is, and you know, hopefully have a bit of a rivalry between the two. Anywho, enough of this waffling. Let's have a look at the box. I've got, let's have a look. So on the front, it's in this fetching green colour. I know the original one, is it black, is it? And then in the 2017, they brought out this green version. There's one thing that I find quite annoying is that we always hear said that we would kind of go against box art. I do like the green now. I really like the green. I've seen them done in blues and whites and purples and blacks, obviously. Colour-wise, so I'm a little bit stuck, but I'm sure I shall think of something. I will try and not do the green, but at the moment I find it rather fetching, to be perfectly frank. But again, nice Tamiya white boxes. If you can hear any scurrying, it's RC so-and-so dog. So anyway, nice little diagram here with the oil dampers, sealed gearbox with ball differential, drive shaft. You know, all these kind of words that make you sound like you know what technological, complicated stuff. Anyway, Tamiya's commemorative 100th RC car. Well, there we go. Who can argue with that? On the box again, we've got nice kind of views of it. I presume that's the front and that's the rear. Got kind of broken it down there to kind of what the chassis would look like. Looks a bit like a flat plate from there, but who knows? If we go to the other side, bit of a breakdown of what's what and where, advising that you need radio equipment for it. We got anything on the side? No, it's just a pretty picture on that side, and again on the other side. So anyway, that's the box. While we're here, let's see what's inside it, shall we? That's quite easy. Ooh, we've got 3 sections. It's like Neapolitan ice cream, where you used to have the chocolate, the vanilla and the pink. and you then just get this scoop and just scoop it all up, so it's just a mix of all three. Unless I do recall some people didn't like one of the flavours, so they'd have that quite separate, but why buy Neapolitan ice cream? Why even talk about Neapolitan ice cream, I hear you ask? And I suppose that's a good point. So let's start in this section first of all, which we will probably call the strawberry section. So, what have we got in the bag? We'll try and dispose of that. I've actually brought a bin into this room, which is quite organised of me, but it's the other side of the room, so I'll stash them for now. So that looks like it's some sort of towers for the suspension. A couple of knuckles there as well. Is this the start of this gearbox housing that they were mentioning? Flat plastic again. I don't know what it is, but where Tamiya gets its plastic from, but it's always of the highest quality. I know we do have a bit of a whinge on this channel regarding, well, everything really. But no, we have a whinge on this channel regarding older plastic becoming brittle. It will be interesting to see in 20 years' time or so, whether or not this becomes brittle, but you never know. That could be someone else's problem and not mine. Who knows? So this one again looks like the opposite side for the shock towers. I reckon this is all like front assembly or something. You know, with the Terra Scorcher that I had, I replaced the A5 piece for an aluminium piece. I've not done a single iota bit of research on this one as yet. So whether or not I might have to reach out and get some aluminium pieces to put in it, or whether or not I'm just throwing good money after bad, who knows. I'll do a bit of research. Believe me, I will not just go into this willy-nilly. He says that as he probably goes into it willy-nilly. Right, okay, so that's definitely more gearbox housing. Should really one day get the instructions out so I know exactly what everything is, and then I'll sound really intelligent so everyone's like, tell you what, that RC so-and-so joking over his onions. And quite frankly, I probably know more about onions than I do RC cars at this rate, but, you know. Welcome to RC Onions. Doesn't have the same appeal. Okay, we've got more pieces here. We've got the tie rods here for probably steering, which is quite interesting because I'm just about to start messing around with the Grasshopper's steering, funnily enough. Need to see what these points are, but then again, it does have that swoopy fat kind of swoop to it, so might have something to do with that. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And ooh, these have been wrapped for a while. It's like, you know, when you go to one of those fates or a garden expedition, not an expedition. What the word? Don't know why I can't get any more words out today. You know, when you go like around country gardens and they've got that, you know, little stall set up, and there's usually someone selling some sort of tat there, you know, like homemade cakes and biscuits. It's like how they wrap the homemade biscuits, really. Like an open day, or a village fete even. But God almighty, some of the rubbish that they sell at those places. So, you know, I like Marmite, but I'm not going to buy it from someone called Vera that's been making it with just tins of oranges. You know, the closest to Seville she's ever been is listening to bloody the Eurythmics. Wasn't the Eurythmics either, was it? Communards. But anyway, spiky tyres. They do have a bit of a whiff of them. I won't smell them because, you know, just say no, kids. Oh, hang on. Yes, so the front ones are more narrow than the rear ones. Just noticed that at the very last moment then. That's good. Should help it being a little bit more nimble. Whether or not it will drive on those tyres, because the spikes tend to wear down quite quickly. Okay, let's move on to vanilla. So we've got in this spot here, we have the shell. Oh, now, and that is a massive surprise. I'm presuming that's my chassis. Now, if that is the chassis, I haven't opened this bit yet, and I've not opened the box before. That raises an interesting question. Because if I was to look at putting any aluminium pieces into this, it would start getting very heavy. So, is it better to keep it as lightweight as possible? I need to think about this. That's definitely given me something to think about, and a bigger bag to put the waste in. So, we look at the moulding of this. Usual Tamiya excellence. I presume. So which part do I cut part of this out for? Oh yeah, so whether it's a waste plastic, I presume I cut this piece out, and then that bit then becomes the wing at the back. You can just see it's got a fine line there. So quite good. Packaging. We've got a useless straw, so it can go in there. I don't want that pile. That's it. Tamiya. That's German. I always look at the German first. Important information. Yeah, we read one of those recently, and yeah, fascinating. So, oh, here we go. Oh, they're more day glow than I thought they were. Because when I looked at the box, I presumed that the sticker was the yellow and orange, but not the green. That makes my decision on what to do regarding the colour system even more complicated. I think it's Tamiya. And then we've got the instruction book. We'll have a look at him in a moment. I might as well get rid of that big box now. I'll see so-and-so dog will be going inside soon. So, in this one here, it's got a bit of weight to it. Get a knife. There we go. Let's see what we have in this box. The chocolate box. Ah, now it all becomes known. Now I know what's going on. So, box, mice, blues, and whites. So I'll put that back over there. And some of you eagle-eyed viewers amongst you will have seen. Here we go. The actual chassis. So I presume that's like a chassis. This bit here, like a scratch guard. So it doesn't get all scuffed and scratched and stuff. So that's quite interesting. I've not really done one like that before, so always up for trying something new. Right. Are these wheelie wheels? They look like they really are. Wheelie wheels. In the white. Make it easy to paint them, I suppose. I'm not dyeing wheels because, again, I'm still scared because I don't know whether or not dyeing a wheel will warp the wheel. There seems to be this ongoing debate about this. Bag A, B, C and J. Okay, so bag A, we got proper bearings in this. I'm not going to count the chickens. I'm not going to open this bag because I'm going to lose everything. But it looks like we may have actual proper bearings. Well done, Tamiya, for getting at the note. Like, yes. Proper bearings, that's really good. More tie rod bits in here, dog bones. thread lock. I'm liking this. It seems like it's going to be a technical one. More tie rods and bits of screws and stuff. Recently, actually, I'll stop there. Not actual stop, I'll just stop for a moment. I recently made a grasshopper and I'm left with all these bits. I wonder if it's going to fall apart. But I do actually have trays where I put all my spare parts into the future. Because you never know when a screw becomes loose. There we go. The little O-rings in there. They're probably for the dampers. Some damper oil. I do have my own damper oil that I prefer. But I don't know. It's not quite to hand at the moment. There you go. There's all the shocks ready to be shocked. There's the plastic as well. Oh! So we've got an F. We've got a bag E and F. I don't think I've ever had an E and an F before. I don't think Tamiya are expecting to do an E and an F because the F is the blue and the E is the red. You would have thought they'd have shelled out and given you a couple of different background colours. But E, that's obviously for the 4-wheel drive. Nice metal bar, so hopefully that won't get chewed off like it does in some models. Bag S, sticky back plastic. More bearings. I'm liking that a lot. This will become a gearbox if you have no magic or follow the instructions. Or both. I think this is the front bumper and they're the front knuckles in red. Red, eh? Well, think about that. And then we are left with this. Is this just a bloody silver can? Let's have a look at it because we need to look at the instructions anyway. So black and white picture of it there. There's the dad telling the kid what to do. And there's the kid telling the little kid what to do. And there's some sort of trouble. But anyway, God, can't even. Right. So the first page is we're going into all this gearbox nonsense. God. Jeez. Right. I am determined to do this without actually having to reach out to the chief engineer. Because I had a problem with the grasshopper, which was easily fixed. But this time I'm going to try and... But also, I'm going to take my time on this one, because the grasshopper, I had limited amount of time to build it. And that was the problem. So look. I'm not going to bore you all and go through every single stage of it. I'm looking for something quite specific in here. There you go. That's how you drive around cans of Coke. Now then. Doesn't tell me. I would say that's just a 540, isn't it? Why have they just put a 540 in that? I got a 540 out already. What's this? I haven't got a 540 out to compare it against. Hang on. Let's see what I've got in the archive. So this is a thing where I keep all my ESCs and servo savers, and there we go. See, why is it so shiny? Oh, here we go. There's some writing on it now. Yeah, it's just a 540. Oh. I would have thought they would have put something a bit more fun in it, considering it's supposed to be like the 100th model. Well, I'm going to put something more fun into it. Balls to them. So, Mr. Tamiya, how do you feel about that? But yeah, it's good. I like it. It looks technical. Right then, so all this stuff apparently makes a car. I don't know why I've still got that in my hand. I'm going to build this one not as fast as the grasshopper, but remember when we wrote out that list of things that I've got to do? Well, I've still got to do most of them. So maybe I'll put up a vote soon, because we've got, let's have a walk around here. You won't see what I'm doing at the moment, but yeah, we've got the XV01 Rally. We've got the, what else have we got? The CC02 Land Rover. We've got a Shell to paint, and we've also got this to build, as well as a brat to finish, a sand scorcher to fix. So out of all those, maybe you suggest to me what you want to see done first. I might put some sort of poll up. Obviously last time I put a poll, a lot of people were just like, I don't care. So whether or not it's that you don't care on what we put together first, or if you just don't generally care, which is allowed, you know. Nihilists are welcome. But yeah, I'm going to spend some time putting all this back into the bigger box, if it goes. You can spend some time thinking, what the hell have I just watched? And I'm sure that we will all be together soon enough. So thanks for watching this far, and I've got 10 minutes left to go and get the chicken out of the oven. Win-win. Who can say better than that? Anyway, ta-ra.
So you don't miss out on further videos and similar nonsense, please like, feel free to comment, definitely subscribe, and press that bell-shaped thingy to be woken up at all hours for further content. But for now, that's your lot.